So you got a problem child. Need to lay the smack down on this kid. What do we do with these kids? They're causing problems. I got you. Stick around. All right, so you're the leader in your class and you have a child or a few that are a problem, right? They are problem children. And first, let me minister to you and to the child before we talk about the corrective action. That child is coming from somewhere, from something. And actions of a child often are the result of what's going on in their heart. And many times for young people, they do not know how to express their feelings or emotions. So it comes out in a weird way. Sometimes it's an abundance of energy. Sometimes it's a disruptive form of action, or sometimes it's misbehavior. So when you see these kinds of things, register that in your brain, pray for that, ask God for wisdom and discernment so that you can minister to the child appropriately. But ultimately, a child's actions are a reflection of their heart. And it's not much different than those who are adults. You know, adults who are dealing with some serious things, it is revealed and multiplied in public, as well as private. So remember that. So whenever I have a problem child, here's what I recommend for those who are serving with our Department of Kids. One is we remind them of the things to know. And if you have not seen the video on things to know, click, boom, that video, right? The things to know. Say, hey, you're kind of talking when you should not be talking. Remember that the things to know is know when to talk. Should we be talking right now? Whenever I ask a question that has a clear and obvious rhetorical answer, I answer it for them. Should we be talking right now? Say, no way, Pastor Juan. All right. And some kids will be like, no way, Pastor Juan. Other kids will be like, yes way, Pastor Juan. Party! And it's okay to go from silly Pastor Juan to no. Now is not the time. Lock it in, bro. Okay? Boom. That's my first step, is remind them of the things to know, whether it's walk, talk, or doc, right? The second thing is to remind them again, because you know, with kids and teenagers, you gotta tell them to clean their room a million times and it never gets done, and that's okay. So we're not gonna be like ungraceful and be like, well, I told you to not walk, talk, or doc, so now you're out. That's not how we're gonna roll. We're gonna love them, and we're gonna remind them again, hey, dude, once again, now is not the time to talk. Can we lock it in, please? Please stop. That's the second one, right? Boom. Let's go to the third one. Bam. Okay, now the third one. We're gonna start giving warnings. Okay, dude, this is the third time. The third time that we've talked about this is that now is not the time to talk. You are specifically being disruptive when you do that, talking in that way, that loud or whatever. And if you do it again, what we're gonna have to do is I'm gonna get my phone out. I'm gonna call your mom and we're gonna go meet her. I'm gonna give them a warning to the reminder, or a warning of a consequence that will happen to the reminder. That's right. Make sure they are clear that they are being warned, how that warning is affecting the environment, so they have a reference in their brain, like, oh, when I'm loud, it doesn't help anybody follow, learn about Jesus. And 3, and if I keep this up, Pastor Juan's gonna call my mommy. So then we go into the next phase. Oh, dude, bro, this is the 4th time now. I told you if this happened again, I'm now serious, Pastor Juan. It's no longer happy, silly Pastor Juan. I'm serious. I told you. What did you do? They need to be able to respond. I kept talking. And if they don't respond, here's what you did, bro. You kept doing it after I said not to. And what did I say would happen if you kept doing this? You said you would call my mommy. And if they don't, I said I would call your mommy. And you know that, so stop being a joker. all right? And it's okay to be serious. It's okay. Now, I'm not yelling at them. I'm not demeaning them. I'm not calling them names. I'm just letting them know, here are the facts. Here's where you're at. Now, here's where I'm at. And here's what I'm going to do with what I said. Doop, 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 doop. Hey, Mom, your kid, come get now. Boom. Just like that. Just like that. Now, we wait with that kid. Mom comes, dad comes, whatever, and let's say mom is being a little tardy, or we can't get a hold of mom, or whatever reason, it's taking too much time, and that kid is still being disruptive. Okay, now what we need to do is you should not be alone with all these kids by yourself anyways. There should be a second leader with you. Either you delegate to the leader to take over, or you delegate to the leader to finish the correcting. Either way, one of you has to teach the good kids while the other deals with the problem child. So that problem child then needs to be removed from the group. We are removing the fun, the joy, the experience, the group. You can call it a grounding, taking away of a toy or whatever. All right, we're not going to spank them. We're not going to use physical discipline. That is not what we do at church. That's not what we have permission to do. So do not touch a child in a way that brings harm, right? You can, however, use crisis prevention intervention. And that's where you basically can guide a kid or redirect a kid. There are proper ways to do that, but if you do not know how to do that, don't attempt it. But that kid needs to leave the room. Then they go into the hallway, they sit and they chill. You sit and chill with them until mom shows up. If they're going to throw a tantrum, let it be in the hallway. Let it be out there. Let it be by the front door. You can redirect, crisis prevent them from running into the road, etc. But ultimately, that child needs to be separated from the fun group until mom and dad come. And then when mom and dad come, you can explain exactly what happened, how we did it, the full corrective action, and make sure you make it a point to say, hey, next time, mom, is there a way that I can better soften this or be prepared for this or trigger him to calm down? And that's how I do it. It's not fun dealing with a problem child. It happens every once in a blue moon, but it needs to happen, because if you do not deal with that one will disrupt the entirety of the classroom, and the other 99 will not get to hear about Jesus because they're too busy listening to you deal with the problem. So until next time, everybody say, bye, Pastor.